card ladder.
Let's talk about the topic of the day in this household, and probably many others. The pains of collecting an active player. So today, the Dallas Mavericks were eliminated from the playoffs after a grueling roller coaster ride of a 7-game series. Also last week, the Los Angeles Lakers were knocked out. For Kristina and I, that means no more watching Luka competing in the NBA for probably 4 months until the start of next season, although we probably will get to watch him compete for Team Slovenia this summer, a small consolation, no doubt. And for Josh, that probably means no more watching LeBron for the same amount of time, although he will be able to watch LeBron compete with the Toon Squad in Space Jam 2. Kristina, let me start with you.
Yeah.
Collecting is supposed to be fun.
Supposed to be.
Sports fandom is supposed to be fun.
Supposed to be.
And when things are going well and your team is winning,
it's great.
But at some point, expectations are bound to be disappointed, and we will be let down. It is inevitable. It's an inevitable part of the sports experience. No one is immune from it. I'm not looking for you to give advice here, but just explain to all the collectors out there, new and established, what is it like to have collected and rooted for a player and a team for several years now, and then ultimately see them come up short today?
It's not fun. I mean, I was pretty down in the.
Kristina went and took a 4-hour nap immediately after the game.
I did. Yeah. I took a depressed nap.
I forgot what you said exactly, but like you like had a little sassy comment as you got up and walked out of the room.
I usually do.
True. Kristina was not pleased with the outcome of that game. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing, right? It's not like I played on the team. I was a couch spectator.
A couch tater.
It had nothing to do with me. I mean, I was just, you gotta just pull yourself up and brush yourself off and say, we'll get him next year and move on with your life.
Your PC player, Josh, is in a special category. LeBron is still competing at the highest level, remains a perennial title contender, but he also has 18 years of NBA greatness already logged in the record books. Still, it surely brings a lot of joy watching him add to his legacy each season, and conversely, I expect it was not pleasant to see the Lakers season end prematurely. What has it been like to follow and collect LeBron James in this NBA season?
Well, my expectation of him is slowly going down over time, just because I'm realistic in that he is getting older and like the injury stuff and just the team didn't gel this year, so I didn't have super high expectations going into this year. The problem for me is just that everyone else gives these crazy expectations for every player, not just LeBron. Like, you guys probably get the same thing where like it's either championship or bust, and when you lose, your player gets treated a certain way on the internet. Whether they deserve it or not, there's going to be someone out there that just flames the player no matter what, and LeBron definitely gets his fair share, probably more than most. That's the hard part for me, is just like reading people hate on them, and it's really hard because my expectation is different. And so I also feel for you, Kristina, because I know how Chris is when his team loses. He's way too pragmatic about it, and after my team loses, I just want to be an annoying like complainer and just like let me complain. And I can see Chris being like, oh, but the percentages didn't line up and the matchups.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
And then he's like,
we lost.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, he tied Wilt for like all-time scoring
Right.
in a playoff game. So like he's still an amazing player. And I'm like, no, man, like the Mavericks, freaking Tim Hardaway and Porzingis, and we got Josh Richardson not doing anything. And I'm just like going off.
Yes, you did. All right. Kristina,
yeah.
Given the current state of the market, if we were to partition our collection, our basketball card collection, according to value, it's probably 60 to 70% MJ and 30 to 40% Luka. On days like today, when I must resign myself to the fact that the Mavericks have been knocked out of the playoffs and things feel gloomy around their future right now, and we won't get to watch Luka begin his 4th season for 4 months, I'm even more grateful than usual that we collect Michael Jordan as well. And all the uncertainties surrounding Luka are not present with MJ, whose legacy is forever solidified and whose cards only become more coveted as the years roll by.
Correct.
So my question is, does collecting Michael Jordan as well bring you any solace on a day like today?
I mean, definitely, right? Like, knowing that we have the GOAT and he's our main PC definitely brings you solace, because you also have to look at him as an exemplar of what a basketball player is. And when you do that, you see that Luka's not far off.
Josh, what do you think about the value of balance in collecting across eras, collecting active as well as retired, even collecting players and teams across different sports? You collect LeBron, Anthony Hardaway, football wide receivers, among other categories you collect. Does this approach help keep things in perspective? Is there anything to be said about balance in the PC?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of things that I can balance out. The first one is what you guys are talking about, where you have a retired player where you don't have the risks of maybe some of the financial ups and downs of it, or the emotional ups and downs of, being so emotionally tied into that player's current status and, their attachment to the cards. Whereas Jordan, it's purely with the cards at this point, right? You're chasing the cards, so it's good in that sense. The other is having a balance of different types of active players. Like, now that LeBron is out, I can focus on some of my football receiver collections and start looking forward to the season. And I collect Julio Jones, and he just got traded today, so I'm frantically scouring through eBay for people that are trying to capitalize on that. Like, a lot, it's like, don't buy after the news, but as a collector of trying to find rare things, this is my only chance to find rare cards that come out of the woodwork, so I have to jump on those opportunities. And then the other thing is just, like I said, the financial balance of it, trying to mitigate your risk across different types of players. Like, you're getting the upside of Luka, but there's obviously going to be some downside here in the next, week or so, just based on what's happening. And you'll get the risk mitigated and moved over to, reduced by having a lot of your stuff in Jordan. So I think all of those things are good for balance.
Great points.